Yep, that's me. One thing about me, I love a good sports game. Do I always understand what's going on? No. But there's nothing like the energy. So since fall sports are back, I decided why not read some sports romances to get into the spirit. So in today's video, I've picked 3 sports romances, all different sports, to feed my delusion of falling in love with an athlete. The first book that we are starting out with is Caught Up by Liz Tomford. I read The Right Move literally like last week or like 2 weeks ago, and I loved it. It was so good. I ended up giving it a 4.5 star, and so I was really excited to pick this book up. And the glimpses of Kai that we saw in that book made me very intrigued to hop into this book. So, what I'm getting so far, I'm only like 13% of the way into this book. But we have Isaiah, or not Isaiah, that's his brother. Okay, so we have Kai Rhodes, who is a pitcher for Chicago's MLB team. And he is a single father who is trying to get a nanny to watch his son while he's on the road, but he hasn't been able to find the perfect nanny. He keeps firing all these people, saying that they're not good enough to watch his kid. And then we have Miller Montgomery, and Miller is a pastry chef who is struggling to create her desserts. And so she goes on hiatus and goes to see her dad, who is the head coach of the Chicago baseball team. And now her father has convinced her that she should become Kai's son's babysitter. Or nanny. Yeah. And so far, I'm having a good time. I'm already giggling, and I like their banter so far. Their banter is really good. Also, I'm seeing why people love Isaiah. The little parts of him that I've already seen in this book, I already am so excited to see him in his book. I think it's going to be really good. But, yeah. I'll come back with more updates, but I'm enjoying it so far. Why did my voice sound like this? What time is it? Oh, it's 11:38. That makes so much sense. Hi friends, I am back. And I just needed to say this. One thing about me, I love baseball boys. So this book is doing great things for me. She literally yells out, "Hey Rhodes, your ass looks good in those baseball pants." If you know, you know. The baseball pants, the baseball. Just saying. Baseball in a book will get me. I'm just realizing this is the first baseball romance I'm reading, I think. And I'm really into it, guys. This is just making me even more excited to read Play Along. Because I feel like most books are hockey romances. So to get into like baseball and football are going to be so good to me, because those are like my favorite sports. But yeah, I just had to say that because they've been talking about his butt in baseball pants, and sue me, because I want him. He goes, well, we all have our limits now, don't we? And she goes, and I'm yours? And he goes, I think you might be. No, because this book is so cute. I can't get over it. It is so cute. I'm obsessed with them. I'm obsessed with Kai. Oh my god. It's the perfect combination of wholesome and funny. And the banter is just so good between the two of them. I am living for it. I'm obsessed. I love the parallels between their lives. Like, Kai is going through what her dad went through raising her. That's what he's going through raising Max. And so seeing them work together as like a dual force so he can continue to play baseball and live his dream while also being there for his son. It's so good. The whole like family dynamics, as odd as they are, they're so good. And seeing how invested in Max Miller is super cute. It's like, since she knows what it feels like to be in Max's shoes, even though Max is so young, she's been there. So she wants to give him a better life. Also, neither one of them is fighting their attraction for each other. Like, they flat out are like, I want you. But they're so intelligent on the fact that they know they can't be together because she is going to leave. And he is so aware of what his son needs and not bringing in somebody who's going to, like, not getting too attached to somebody who's going to leave. But they have to be together. They have to be together. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Also, I think single dad is becoming one of my favorite tropes, which is saying a lot. But every time that I've read one, it is hit so well. Like, it's always been so good for me with the single dad trope. Just the kids. I love seeing the kids, and I love seeing the love that these parents have for their children. And whether it's actually their child or not, like, the love that then forms between the significant other and the kid. It's always so good. It eats every single time. What the fuck? Why am I crying over this right now? Why? I knew it. This is what I mean by the kids will always get me in these books. They will, like, the connection between the other person and the child is always so adorable. And this just hits so hard. I got it. Alright friends, I am back and I have finished Caught Up by Liz Tomford. And I had a really, really good time reading that book. It was so good. I was obsessed with Kai. He is everything. I love him so much. Also, Max, his little boy, adorable. Literally the cutest little thing ever. But I finished it. I loved it. I had a great time. I'm gonna do my final thoughts at the end of the video. So we are now moving on to our next book, which is Enemies by Tihan. and I saw this book at Barnes, and I don't know what I was doing. I was just looking, and this was on the table, and I saw it, and immediately realized it is football. My favorite sport is football. So I saw this, and I feel like there's not that many football romances out in the world, at least that I've seen. So I saw it and immediately picked it up. Also, it's called Enemies, so I'm assuming it's enemies to lovers, which is my favorite. I did start it. I think I'm like on chapter 10, which is, hold on, I was reading it on my Kindle, so I have no idea. I'm like 70 pages in. I'm not very far. I'm just gonna read the back of the book because I don't know how to describe what's going on in this book right now. So it says, her worst enemy might be her only chance at a happy ending. Stone Reeves was my neighbor. I hated him since the 6th grade. Gorgeous and charismatic, he became the town's football god, while I became the town's invisible girl. He went to a Division I school for football, while my father was fired by his father. His team won the national championship, while my mother died the same day. He was a first-round pick for the NFL, while I made the worst decision of my life. Now I'm in Texas trying to pick up the pieces, but Stone is here. Stone is everywhere. It doesn't matter that disaster has struck my life again. It doesn't matter that he's the one trying to console me. It doesn't matter that he's the nation's newest football obsession. But for me, he's always been and always will be my enemy. And I read that in Barnes, and that was it. And that's when this whole video came to life. Yeah, so far so good, I guess. I'm not very far into it. I think I'm just now starting to get to where the two main characters are seeing each other for the first time after years and years and years of not seeing each other and her hating him. And yet again, something big has happened in her life, and he is coming into it and I'm assuming is going to try to help her and through what she's going through now. I think. I don't really know. Also, I picked this book because he was going into the NFL and he's in Texas, so I was hoping he was going to be on the Dallas Cowboys because that's my team. But alright, I am currently 58% of the way through Enemies, and my thoughts so far on this book is that it's not necessarily my favorite thing. I'm enjoying it, but not like... So I don't know if I fully explained it. So basically, this girl, Dusty, has had a really troubled life. She's lost her mother, she lost her best friend, which was Stone, lost her house, lost a bunch of things, while Stone's life just got better and her best friend just abandoned her. And so now she has moved schools and has gone to Texas, where Stone is a NFL player. Something ends up happening within her family, and Stone delivers the news to her and is now taking care of her through what is going on in her life. I don't know. I feel I don't have an emotional connection to either one of the characters. I feel like we're not getting enough detail on the characters for me to feel a connection between them. I understand what Dusty's going through and all of that, and that it's really difficult, but we're not getting much else, and we're definitely not getting much of Stone and his feelings because it's only out of Dusty's perspective. So I wish we would see Stone's, and I feel like then I would feel more invested in the story and their characters. But as of right now, I'm not that invested. I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about it. Their relationship right now just like, you can see the childhood friends aspect starting to come out with how comfortable they are with each other, but I'm not feeling the love. Like, I'm not loving the relationship, especially right now, because it's a mainly physical relationship. They're not getting into their feelings with each other. He's just like, I understand what you're going through, let me help you in the one way I can, which is just physically. And it's not my favorite, but I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna see how much farther into this I get for today. I kind of want to finish this book today. I kind of want to be done with it, because I feel like this book is taking me a long time to read when it just shouldn't. I should be done with this. I thought it was going to be really fast, and I've been proven incorrect. So yeah, I'll come back with another update. See if maybe something crazy happens and I instantly fall in love with the characters. Who's to say, right? Okay, I'm finally finished with Enemies, and it was a time. I didn't have a bad time, I didn't have a great time. It was kind of just like, yeah. And I guess you could kind of see where their relationship, or like where their connection comes from their past relationship or past friendship. But I feel like there's not a lot of character development within these books. There's nothing that kept me connected to the characters. I was just watching these two people. Not even these two people. I was watching one person deal with the repercussions of her family life and her life in general. I don't know. And the way it all just came together, it was just super abrupt. It felt like, I don't know, I thought this was gonna be more of a romance, and it wasn't really that. I mean, like, I don't know, it's what you're looking for. I feel like the romance was very rushed. It wasn't very talked about or anything, like, and then really abruptly at the very end of the book, you start to get the male main character's point of view, and that's when I started to be like, okay. But you're getting that within the last 10% of the book. So I feel like that's not giving you what you need in order to feel his emotions. And you don't see the setup to their relationship really, because there isn't one. It's just like all of a sudden they're together and it's like, not that big of a fan. I'm gonna sit on it and then we'll talk about it later. And we're gonna see what book I pick up next. It will be a hockey romance though, because I think that is the next sport in this video. So I'll see you when I pick up my next book. Alright friends, so our last book of the video is going to be The Wingman by Stephanie Archer. I have been so excited to read this book. It is the third book in the Vancouver Storm series. I read Behind the Net and The Fake Out earlier this year and absolutely adored those books. They were so good. I think I gave Behind the Net a 4.5 star and I gave The Fake Out a 4.75 star. So I loved them so much. And so I have been waiting for this book to come out, especially because the male main character of this book Hayden was in the other 2 books, and he was so cute, and he had such good golden retriever energy that I've been dying for this book. What I know so far about the book is that Hayden has a best friend named Darcy who was dating and engaged to his best friend Kit, and something happened and Kit and Darcy broke up. So now Darcy is living with Hayden, trying to figure out her new life, her new single life, and now she has decided that she wants to live life like Hayden. She wants him to teach her how to be a player like him. But this whole entire time Hayden has had a crush on Darcy, and I think Darcy's had a crush on Hayden as well, and she sort of fell into this relationship with his best friend. So now Hayden and Darcy are living together, and I'm so intrigued to see how this plays out. So far, like, even in the fake out, you could see how into Darcy Hayden was, and now since we're starting to see Darcy's point of view, you can see that she's also into Hayden, and I'm so excited. So it's gonna be like friends to lovers, and I'm so excited. So I will come back with an update at some point, but I'm going to devour this book. So, hi friends. I am back, and it's a couple days later. So let's not talk about my hair and what's going on there, but let's talk about some books, because that's what we're here for. Okay, so I have actually finished The Wingman by Stephanie Archer. I didn't end up giving many updates because it kind of just flew through it, and I didn't really have any comments on the book. It was cute. It was a cute friends to lovers. It wasn't anything super crazy. I feel like, I don't know, it's exactly what you would expect from a friends to lovers. I enjoyed the characters. I didn't get emotionally invested in the characters, even though I love Hayden. But his relationship with Darcy was just so, it just felt so normal. I don't know, like, I feel like it wasn't anything groundbreaking, which is a little upsetting for me because I was so excited for this book, but that does not mean that it's not a good book. I still had a great time while I was reading it. I have no complaints. It just wasn't my favorite, especially out of the other 2 books. Fake Out still remains my favorite book, but overall it was cute, it was fun, and that's about it. I don't have much to say. I ended up giving it a 3.5 stars. I don't know. I thought I was gonna connect to the characters more. I thought I was going to, I don't know, something about it. But that doesn't mean that it's a bad book. Like, I still had a really good time, and I will continue to read this series. I'm very intrigued to see the next book because the hints of those characters we got in this book are super good, and it feels like a more like rivals to lovers, or like a disdain to lovers, as Miss Destiny Sidwell once put it, and I think we need to make it a thing. A disdain to lovers type deal, and probably like a fake marriage or something? I don't know, but I'm excited for that book, and I think it's gonna be really good. So yeah, that's my thoughts on The Wingman. You can't go wrong with a hockey romance. They're always fun. So that was that. And then let's talk about the other books that I read in this video. So the first book I read was Caught Up by Liz Tomford, and I am in love with that book. I gave it a 4.75 stars. I loved that book so much. I didn't think that I was going to fall in love with the characters as quickly as I did in that book. I feel like the second I picked it up, I was immediately invested in their relationship and the dynamics of the group. Since it is the 3rd book in the Windy City series, you get to see all the other characters from the other books. Even though I DNF'd Mile High, seeing Stevie and Xander's together was really cute. Indy and Ryan, I love them, and the found family that gets created throughout all of it is fantabulous. I love it. I just loved the relationship between not only Kai and Miller, but also Miller and Max. It was so sweet. And seeing both of these two struggle to parent and like be unsure of how to raise a kid because it's the first time they do it really takes me back to the thought process of like, everybody's doing life for the first time. And seeing them go through that is realizing like our parents are doing life for the first time. Like they're parenting for the first time. And it's just a wild concept to think about. And so seeing these two young parents struggle through that gives you a new perspective on life and even your parents. At least that's what it did for me. Yeah, I'm obsessed. I cannot wait to read Play Along. I'm gonna have to, it'll definitely be in another reading vlog because I feel like that book is going to be amazing. I've already heard great things about it. So our second book for the video was Enemies, and I ended up giving this book 3 stars. I didn't necessarily love it. It wasn't my favorite book. The romance wasn't giving. I didn't connect to the characters very much. It wasn't a bad book, but it's just not what I was looking for when I picked it up. I thought it was going to be more of a romance, but it's more taking you through her experience and what she's going through with the craziness that is her life and just reconnecting with her past best friend. So like the story is cute, but I went into it thinking that it was just a flat out romance, which it's not really. So yeah, that's my little review on Enemies. Overall though, I love sports romances. They're some of my favorite books to read, especially because I'm delusional and I want to marry an athlete and I want to live these experiences. If there are any sports romances that you guys recommend, leave them down below. Let me know. I still have quite a few on my shelf that I need to get to, so that is going to be exciting and I will most likely do this video again. So with that being said, that is the end of today's video. If you had a good time hanging out with me, hit that subscribe button down below and I'll see you in the next video. Bye friends.